We initially started as Makeda Coffee, and I wanted a name that honored coffee, was a throwback to coffee. So in my research of names and places and ideas, Makeda is the name of the Queen of Sheba, and the area of Sheba is now Ethiopia and Eritrea, where coffee was first discovered. So we named it Makeda Coffee, and then over time folks from Ethiopia come in, and apparently the name is pronounced Makeda. And I've met about 3 or 4 Makedas since opening the shop, which has been really fun. Mingus is my dog. He's a 14-pound rat terrier, full of mischief, and when we started doing more events and adding beer and wine, some of the feedback was we don't think about getting beer and wine in a place that says coffee in its name. So we changed the name of the place to include Mingus. It's alliteration, but it's also, if you don't know the dog, it's the name he's named after a jazz musician. And we do music events here. We host craft nights weekly. So it's a way to bring in art, which I feel like hanging out in coffee shops for the past, 25 years, coffee does attract a lot of creative people, whatever your art is, whether it's fine arts or food or just your artistic expression of yourself. Like, coffee really tends to attract creative people. So whether you know the dog or not is just kind of a nice way to bring in that part. I wasn't much of a club kid like most of my friends were in college, so when they would go out dancing, I would go to this coffee house called the Dancing Goats, and it was open late, and it had these really huge, probably like pipelines, probably steam lines that were painted orange. It was just really nice and bright. I went to college in Pittsburgh, which had a lot of overcast, kind of like Seattle did, so it was a nice bright spot to hang out in. And then after I graduated college, I was working corporate, and it was fine. It wasn't great, it wasn't awful, and I started working at the local coffee shop to make some friends in this new town I was living in, and I loved it. This neighborhood seems to have had too many tragedies, but we've had small businesses that were being targeted with arson. There was a gas explosion that leveled an entire building, including another treasure and coffee shop. And being able to have a place where folks can come in and talk with each other, or like you said, hug each other. The day after the election was a big one here as well. But conversely, after the Seahawks won the Super Bowl, it was super festive in here on Monday. It was hard for most of us to wake up and come in, but it was really fun to spend it with your regular morning folks and just part of your morning routine. So watching the demographics of the neighborhood shift from a little bit older to a little bit younger, with younger kids, meant that the dynamics of the neighborhood changed. So after 10 years and watching like what folks were doing, what people are interested in, I was chatting with a former boss of mine, and he said, if you want a neighborhood shop, make the neighborhood feel like they own the shop. I feel like you always hear as a kid, or if you're struggling in your career, do something that you love and you never work a day. I don't think that's true. I think do something that you love and you still work extra hard to keep it true. But when the days are long or the days are hard, my go-to joke is I'm living the dream. But the truth is, if it were all to end tomorrow, I am living the dream, and it's kind of fun to have a clubhouse that I get to work in and get to see a lot of my favorite people throughout the week.